my parents were realtors, and so I had no intention of actually getting into real estate. I was actually going to go to law school. I was going to get a political science degree and then go on and pursue a legal career. And I was in a poli-sci class, and my professor said, if you do everything I say to do, you could make a six-figure income. Well, I'd gotten into real estate right around that time, and I'd already made $100,000 selling houses, and so I figured, what am I doing here? So I left college and actually jumped headfirst into real estate and been in it ever since. I started my career working for a real estate company, learning every single piece of the interior side of the company, from the receptionist job all the way up through the accounting position. And so that's kind of how I broke into the business, and really kind of enjoyed that part. I kind of found out at an early age, watching my parents go through the process of moving up through leadership. I was able to take part as a kid and go to a lot of the conventions, and I knew a lot of the brokers in town just from the time growing up. And when I got into the business, my mother, Patty, pushed me into joining a committee, just like Janet does all the time for all of us. And I joined one committee that turned into two. I actually ran for the MLS committee because I looked at the application and said, wow, I qualify. And I ran for that and lost. And then about a week or 2 weeks later, they had applications for the board of directors, and I actually won. I was one of the youngest directors ever elected at that time GLVAR, and that was almost 12 years ago. And so I just continued to move up through the process. I found out that as I moved through a leadership position at my company and in my business, knowing these great brokers and building that relationship with them at LVR allowed me to do even better business because I had a personal connection with them. So it was a great investment into my business. And kept involved at LVR, went through the committees, actually served as a chair of one or two small committees. I created the Market Trends Committee with Colleen Kelly the year she was president, because I saw a lot of agents were struggling to understand what was going on in the marketplace. And so I figured that that was a good way of bringing these huge names together and getting them to talk. And I know they wouldn't talk if agents were there harassing them about it, so we created this committee where they would just share information. And so that kind of led me to rerun for the board of directors. And once I had finished out my terms, I had to either move up or get off the board. And so I ended up running for treasurer. Treasurer led to vice president. I lost one race for vice president, won the second one, and then I moved up and went through Las Vegas president, and then I moved on to the state. And now I have to make the decision whether to go to the next level, which would be an RVP, or just to hang out and see what happens. I've got so many good stories about things that have happened, but at the end of the day, I realize that we're all just people, and we're people that are trying to help other people, and people become weird when it comes to their home, and not everyone's home life is the same, not everyone looks at things the same. And so what I've come to find out is that you have to have a little bit of humor in life. You have to let things just, run off your back and just deal with it. And I've had some crazy circumstances as an REO broker. I mean, I've had guns pulled on me. There's nothing like knocking on a door and hearing the shotgun clock back on you. But the whole point is that it's just people dealing with life. And when you remember that and you focus on helping them and making life better for everyone you come into contact with, you'll always have a good career in real estate. I think the one great thing about Signature that I really enjoy is we have so many leaders with different backgrounds. They have different experiences. We all came from something else into real estate. And I think that bringing those roles, bringing those experiences, the amount of transactions that we've seen, the amount of things that we've seen at the association, and just that time in leadership gives a good perspective. And usually all you need to create value in a real estate transaction is a good perspective, and the answer to the question of this weird circumstance happened, where do I go from here? And so I love the fact that our leadership team and the people that are in it have the ability to kind of answer those hard questions, because they've either seen it, or they've seen the other side of it, or they've been part of it, and they're able to provide good advice. And that's what all this was about. Getting involved at the board was about building a perspective and the ability to answer those questions. It's not just about the sales, it's not just about the commission checks, it's about the people. It's about building businesses that are sustainable regardless of the marketplace. It's about caring about your investment in your career, in your industry, and the people that you help support and serve. Here in 2020, I've seen the heart of realtors out there in the marketplace, and it's amazing the heart here at Signature and how many of our agents were involved in supporting each other and supporting their clients through tough times. I mean, we dealt with so much and we were able to get through it, and that's all because of the signature life and the culture that we provided here at the company.